Welcome back. Well, it is the time of the year when many people are battling everything from the sneezing to the headaches to the itchy eyes. It is known as allergy season in Michigan, and it looks like it could be a bad one. Dr. Karyn Gell from Grand Rapids Allergy is here to talk with us about some ways for everybody to kind of get through it. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for being
We
here.
have been talking about this a lot on the show lately because both Tara and I go through allergies, and Catherine too. Like Tara gets it really bad, like with her eyes and everything. For mine, it's been my eyes, but just like constantly, like with a runny nose, and it feels like it's worse than it has been in years past. Is it worse this year? Or are we just noticing it more?
It looks to be in the south a much higher pollen season.
Okay.
And if you look really trends in the last 10 to 30 years, it appears our pollen seasons are occurring earlier with trees, and the allergenicity of the pollen may be a little bit more intense.
Okay.
It's interesting with climate change, sometimes the plant may actually struggle as it grows but produce more pollen, which is very interesting.
Which is not good for us, anybody that suffers from allergies, obviously.
Right.
Now, you brought some of like the main culprits today, but before we get to that, you have a really good demonstration thing of what your sinus actually looks like. I'm going to have you hold it up to see if we can get kind of a close-up shot of this and how it works in there. So explain how, oh, that's good. Explain how allergies kind of work in terms of your sinuses.
Sure. What can happen is as you breathe the air in the nose,
Okay.
it can go up into your sinuses, which have very small drainage holes,
Okay.
then drain back to the back of the throat.
Yes.
So the sinuses are in the front, the cheek, and in the middle of the head. So you often feel very stuffed.
You feel like that kind of that pressure on your cheekbones, pressure on your head. Oh, sure.
And postnasal discharge, many people complain of throat clearing.
Yes, yeah, that's what it is. Like you constantly feel like you have something in your throat.
Correct.
And yes. So what are some of the things that are out there today? And how do you know? A big one is, how do you know what it is that you're allergic to? Are there tests that you can go in? I can remember doing this as a kid.
And that's a very good point. If you want to best take care of your allergy, we'd like to individualize your treatment plan because everybody's unique and everybody's sensitivities are different.
Sure.
So if you have allergy testing, then you can identify, well, exactly which trees or grasses or weeds or dust mites, animal dander, mold, am I allergic to?
Yes.
Then you can more accurately decide, all right, how am I going to avoid it? Medications can work pretty much regardless of what you're allergic to, but you can also get an individualized treatment plan for allergy if you see an allergist. And then immunotherapy, which we can talk about as well, to fix your allergy.
Now, I know I can remember like when I was little, I used to get shots. I think it was like 2 times a year, like January and September. Are those things out there? Can you kind of develop an immunity to those over time where they don't work as well as they used to, or even like over-the-counter stuff like a Claritin or whatever?
Well, and you may have been receiving steroid injections.
Okay.
That was often used years ago for a 6 to 8 week period where it would be a nice immunosuppressant for your allergies, but they do have risk, and so we don't tend to use those anymore.
Okay.
What they've done is they developed nose sprays and lung sprays with steroid in them, and that is safer. It's a little harder to use, but it is safer.
It is safer. And how long can you use them for? Do you just simply use them for the duration of allergy season, or do you start them, before a little bit? How does it work?
It's a good question. Many people who have severe spring allergy also have at least maybe some minor winter allergy. That's not uncommon. Then you develop what's called priming. You have this inflammation in your nose where instead of being crystal clear, you have all these allergy cells kind of sitting in there. Then when the pollen comes, boom, you have this huge release of histamine and other mediators that create large allergic reactions. So starting a good couple of weeks before your really bad season, but many patients we do advocate they use their steroid type nasal sprays every day. Those are prescription.
So that can go right through, and that's a little bit easier. Now you brought some of the big culprits. Kind of go through, just kind of point out to us what some of the big ones are.
Sure, this one is fun because this is poplar, and actually the pollen was about a month ago. This is the seed, and probably next week some of these white fluffies are going to all start flying through the air.
Oh, excellent.
And one of the pollens that's actually the culprit when this white fluff seed particle is going is our oak pollen, which has not yet quite started for some of the oak trees. These are the pollinating structures, but you can see they're not long yet, and the yellow dust is not yet flying out. But also grass pollen, which isn't quite yet ready, but as you see your grass lawn, those little flowering structures come up, that will be grass pollen, often when the poplar seed particle is flying. So really starting back March, April, May, and into June is tree/grass.
All right, excellent. Well, some wonderful tips there. Thank you so much for giving us some ideas of kind of how to get through what's going to be a tough allergy season. We appreciate it. Okay, we've got more. We've put Dr. Gell's contact information on our website. Just go to the Take5 links. Well, coming up next, it is finally time to stop nodding off at the office. Next, we're going to wrap up our sleep month with a look at why many of us just aren't getting the sleep that we need and what we can do about it. So stay with us, please.